Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Summit 5 American Qualifiers. We're here taking a look at game number 1, FDL facing off against EnemyGG. I'm Lyrical. Dota, joined today by MotPax. Sir, because of bugs, we don't have team names, but I assure you that it's FDL versus EnemyGG. How you feeling?
I'm ready. A little bit of a break. Extended pit stop, as it were, which is very rare when it comes to casting games. Usually it's like you don't even have time to go get a drink or anything. You're just like one after the other. You're trying to get a lobby set up, and it was good. Kind of cooled off, chilled out. And now we have EnemyGG versus the old FDL.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one, and we're going to see it start off in a pretty strong way as EnemyGG are going to be taking the Elder Titan Darkseer combo. This is something that we've seen more than a few times, and I think that it was a large part of why they were able to take down Freedom yesterday, just that combo of Vacuum into Echo Stomp, and it just does a tremendous amount of damage. That being said, they do have Doom taken in the first round by FDL, one of the more contentious picks. When I talked to a lot of these teams about who it was that they were expecting for a hero that was going to constantly be the one that's either banned or picked, it's almost always Doom that people were saying.
Yeah, and then second, I'm seeing a lot of Slardar being talked about, but it's both Slardar and Bounty Hunter still left here. Might be what they're thinking. If you grab the Bounty Hunter this early, though, you are revealing the fact that it's that 3-roll Doom. Well, they're going to do it anyway by going for the 3-roll Nature's Prophet. So that'll be the 4 Doom. By far the most popular thing, I'd say, in this region at least. I don't think we have too many offlane Dooms. I know they did a little bit on the side of FDL during the actual major. They were running that a bit more often with like 2 supports, but they also did the Doom Nature's Prophet, and I believe with the Death Prophet a couple of times. So going for maybe a push opener here into the second phase. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Careful doing that versus an Elder Titan.
Absolutely. This is a hero that it's rose to such prominence, and of course the natural order probably. It's not necessarily like the defining feature of his skill set, but it really should be. Just what this brings to the table. You get the base armor reduction, you get the base magic resistance taken away as well. It's incredibly powerful, and every other piece of his kit, while incredibly strong, I feel like sort of falls in comparison to what you're capable of doing as far as like being able to burst somebody down. And we also are going to see the Anti-Mage banned out. This was another hero that has kind of made a bit of a comeback, going for that early Vanguard into battle type of build. You don't even necessarily have to go for a Battle Fury if you don't want to. You're just a ton of damage that can come out from this guy, and he's able to fight with the rest of his team.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, now following bans here, get rid of that Slark. Anti-Mage being taken out, kind of a little bit unusual in terms of the second phase, but something that Bisa, wants to carry the team on. I know they've been picking a ton of Witch Doctor as well, so maybe not up against the Darkseer, whereas maybe it was always against perhaps some Beastmasters or even Nature's Prophets or Enchantresses. You never really know. Maybe that's what it was, but I think like 5 of the last 7 games, they've been rocking a Witch Doctor there for Stan King, and we caught him with a couple of them last night. The Poverty Witch Doctor.
Yeah, no, it was massive poverty time, and I can't remember if I felt like there was an alchemist in that game. I don't remember if it was on his team or against him, but they still ended up being able to pull it out by the end. It's also worth noting that, like, you talk about the amount of games that these guys have been playing. There's multiple different qualifiers going on. You've got the Nanyang stuff that just finished up. What else has been going on? There was Star Ladder, I think, also, and then of course Summit 5. There's just so many games that these guys have been playing that there's sort of exists this meta game that goes on. It's sort of like a best of 5 instead of a best of 3, but it's the second half of the series, I guess, just because they know each other so well.
Yeah, it makes me. I don't know. I've been going through some of the drafts and everything just leading up into this, and I think the Elder Titan's really solid here from Enemy, just because it really does make you not want to run into that push. Like, you can imagine if you go with like Nature's Prophet, Doom, and the Dragon Knight, you start running up that mid lane, you're taking these towers, and one fight, the Stomp comes out, and he gets all that bonus damage. You're going to be calming that up with the Darkseer. Like, you're kind of walking into the hands of what they've already prepped here through the ET and the Darkseer. And maybe it's in their previous matchups, that's the strategy that they thought went really well for the side of FDL. Like, it was something that they're very good at executing. So, I mean, it's so rare to see someone opening with something just like this massively defensive that I'm more seeing perhaps a greedy Doom not coming in early with the auras, a Nature's Prophet looking to split push a lot around the map and gaining some heavier farm onto some of these cores like the Slark or the Anti-Mage, and maybe just playing a more passive game from the Dire, because why do you don't want to give them 5v5 when they start out with Elder Titan Darkseer? That seems disadvantageous right away to you.
No, I would agree, and it's a lineup that never feels like you're safe to go against. Like there's never a lead that's going to be fully safe coming from the side of FDL just because of already their potential to team fight. And if they combo that together with any other of these heroes, like the Invoker's a great ban out clearly. That to me seems like it could be strong, and now doubling down upon it as well. The Phoenix is going to be there. You know, I was talking with, and a quick little shout out to Mr. Grant. He was talking to me and hooked me up with the players at the. When I did my little interview questions, and one of the things that came about also that people were saying was that a lot of times in NA they rely heavily upon being able to snowball from the laning stage and then afterwards just try and dominate the game from there, and that you look in other regions, there's like the Chinese squad that's much more about team fights and trying to make sure that those are sort of run the most effective way possible. Where that's not really the case as much in NA. It's much more about individual skill. And so what you see here is a lineup from EnemyGG that they do have a coach, and they have been working a lot on their communication. And I think that now they're trying to go for this team fight strategy, which is somewhat atypical in NA, and it's ended up being able to bring them forward into this late stage in this tourney that people wouldn't have expected. I think they weren't really performing incredibly well up to this, but they found something that worked, and you can see right now that they're doubling down on it with the Phoenix.
Yeah, they're kind of a rarity. You know, one of the reasons that a lot of people tended to fall in love with, like Leviathan, when they first started out, was it was a consistent team that, yeah, maybe they went tier 1, but they were a team that you could like kind of get behind the players, saw some personality, you saw them stick together through a lot of different tournaments and seasons, and these guys as well for Enemy, like a lot of them have been playing together like massively. I just keep seeing them in all these like smaller tournaments, these cups, they're popping up on my hitbox, my Azubu little feeds, they're all over in their little, tentacles running everywhere, so they are going to branch away a little bit here though from the overall team fight and head into the Terrorblade. That's got to be the BSJ hero, I assume. I mean, you talk about team fight and like one person carrying the team. BSJ, though, a lot of the times it does seem like they typically will not only like work around him themselves in the way that they're going to try and support him, especially as a Terrorblade this game, but a lot of teams we always used to see, like First Ban or First Ban, whatever, Lifestealer, this game, more popular around the scene in general, but clearly a big BSJ hero. He's been playing a lot here. And
yeah,
I like this, though, the Ember Spirit. I think it's exactly how they want to play this game.
It's a good answer. Wait until the late stages and again try and snowball from there. Let one hero carry you throughout the whole course of this. The Lion also pretty good for being able to have that counter initiation with the Earth Spike. The one thing that I will say that the change that Terrorblade got that I think really brings him in a lot of ways back to relevancy and started to a little bit was through this reflection. And it actually is a great teamfight spell in its own right because it's that AoE now where it just throws out those illusions. What's the damage amp that it ends up going up to? It's 100% reflection damage. Like, that's absurd. It's a tremendous amount of damage that gets leveled against your opponent, so he can be a part of those team fight compositions as well, while simultaneously having the ability to scale into that towered breaking hero that we know him oh so well for. And I think that it's a kind of a nice answer. It's like a spell that's also relatively low cooldown. It goes down to 16 seconds, so a lot of capability here from EnemyGG to just consistently fight.
Does FDL pick Wind Ranger? I feel like this would be a great Wind Ranger game. Alright, we're going back to the MTW Timber. Yo, let's go. Oh, are they going to give this mid to CC again? I guess it depends on what's matched up with them.
Yeah, is there anything in particular that you'd be looking for that you would want to see them run in the mid lane from EnemyGG, and then maybe something that would signal that Timbersaw would be the ones that goes there against it?
I mean, we still have the Dragonite in the pool, and he would sync up kind of well to give a little bit of push to this big Wombo combo lineup. Like, they have the Terrorblade, but as a 4-core where maybe BSJ's off on his own, I could see that being okay. A little bit of stun, a little bit of lockdown. You also could be looking at, general control. I was kind of picturing an Orchid carrier for, like, Ember Spirit, but and the Timbersaw as well. But instead it'll be the Batrider, and that'll be coming in there with the Lasso. So, a little bit harder. I don't know if you'll be able to lasso Ember Spirit. In fact, they're going to have a hard time locking down Ember. I don't really see a good way to catch Bisa.
Yeah, it really is going to come down to this Bat Rider being able to find him. And again, the idea, I guess, is just to try and team fight and win those engagements over and over again. If we do see FDL play this in the correct way, though, they're just going to be avoiding that, finding pickoffs, and then trying to rat it out from time to time, I guess. One thing that we could also see eventually is Sovereign trying to build into the Blink Dagger as well as the Sheep Stick. That's a build that we've seen Darkseers go on occasion, although it's still probably going to be after the Greaves, I would imagine.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what stage of the game you're in. Like you kind of make the choice, right? You go Arcanes, you go Mech, and then you decide, all right, do we need a Blink right now? Do I have to snag that up, or just gonna go right into my Greaves instead? If you're pushing fast enough where you're not trying to like force a fight or you don't need to catch them out, you're just forcing by literally taking the objective and just like basically daring the team to try and contest you. Then that's when I really like the Greaves first. I feel like Sovereign, though, we've seen this guy make so many plays. We talked about how he had to like carry the games yesterday, and he did on his Darkseer. Like the vacuums and everything looked so good.
Yeah, they really did. And I think that it's going to come down to, again, him just being able to make sure that he gets a lot out of this lane up here. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Also, I'm going to say, every single game, I've literally, they placed this ward down here, which is going to get spotted. I've literally seen Stan King go up here and place this ward in the same spot every game that he's played so far on this Lion. He just constantly is going to TP out there and make that one get placed. But this should end up signaling to Darkseer as well when he gets dewarded that they had a sentry in the or an observer ward in the area, and maybe they'll be able to get a D-ward on the backside of it.
Yeah, it's tough because in that scenario, you're not sure if it's this one where we've seen that little sneak come in and do that, or over here. And I guess you could just go for the D-ward here, though, and you're always going to cover both options. Actually, I've never seen that, but a sentry right here would probably cover quite a few of these typical spots.
You'd have to get vision on the high ground. That's the only problem.
And he's no way to do it.
Yeah.
Elder Titan.
There you go.
Come here, man. I need help. And then bring a ranged hero. So we'll bring 3 heroes to D-ward just to get a value sentry. Yeah, I'm sure that's the play there. And oh, look at that. Handing over to Bisa. What a nice guy Stan King is. He really is the all-out poverty support.
Does what he needs to do for the team, man. It's a rough life. Well, how do you feel about this lane here? Sovereign on this Darkseer against the Lion as well as the Ember Spirit. Is this going to be tough for him? Do you think that there's kill potential here for the side of? Oh my God, I'm gonna have so much trouble keeping track of these with the names bugged out on the team names.
At least their real names are showing up.
That's true.
Thankfully, I mean that makes it pretty good. I don't know. He didn't get the like straight up triple. He got kind of half the triple Iron Shell, which is one of those things that you'll see certain players do. But he got 2 out of the first wave, not too bad. Try and get up into that soul ring. Lion, Ember, it should be okay. He can kind of do like this. He's to stay around the Iron Shell the whole time. I don't think they'll have enough damage until Ember's like level 4 to kill him.
Damage. Yeah, it could be an issue. And he's getting experience too, so it's really not going that bad for him as of yet.
It does depend, though. If he like runs out of mana from like a Hex mana drain and the Iron Shell wears off, and he has no way to get rid of the Flame Guard, he'll just be dead. So he could die earlier. Kind of a little wraparound harass mid. Does a ton of damage. Damn.
Yeah. That's really nice. And again, you see that the Bat Rider up against the Timber Saw. It's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world, but CCNC is going to have an okay time with it. We thought that it was going to be MJW playing it, but this time around it looks like it's going to be CCNC, which does, of course, mean that it's MJW down here in the bottom lane on the Nature's Prophet. Frozen is going to try and contend with him on the Phoenix as well, as he's been left alone since Elder Titan's been moving around.
Yeah, one of MJW's, at least to me, probably his signature hero. I always seem to feel when he's on this Nature's Prophet. So, again, we'll be seeing the CC Timber mid. I dig it. He had to go for the early stick. Pretty hard matchup, but you actually no points in the Timber Chain yet. Probably going to need that at some point just to make sure he doesn't get totally gone on here.
This is a scary point, too, because Slayer has a haste turn available, and you can see right now that he's just trying to keep himself at a pretty high HP point so Slayer doesn't feel comfortable diving him. That's a really scary point to try and keep yourself alive through. But he's doing an okay job of it. And again, just got to hope that no other rotations come through at the same time. Where's that Dark
Bottom
Seer
lane.
on to?
Yeah, you need to go get mana. Just spamming Iron Shells, but he doesn't have his Soul Ring yet. There's not much kill potential down bottom either. BSJ, he's got the 2 points in the Reflection now. Mind you, if that does hit, and wow, I totally forgot how huge the range is on that. Holy,
Yeah.
that is giant.
It's a really good spell. I mean, and you can see he's already putting a lot of points in it
TP,
early.
though.
Look at
Like,
that.
He shouldn't be able to die.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, he actually breaks the TP.
Oh, the centaur! It
Oh
stopped.
my god, he
Oh,
might be in trouble. Ooh, that's scary.
That would have been the worst. Oh my god. Dota 2.
Some good stuff. Again, you can see the sort of battle up here in the top lane as well as they've started to rotate in the Elder Titan. Can go for the Stomp if he wants as well as that Astral Spirit, but hasn't opted to go for it. Meanwhile, mid lane, CCNC in a little bit of trouble as he's going to get jumped on and is going to end up going down. So we'll see if he could do something. The Slayer is going to be able to take one more right click. Is he going to die to this one? It looks like he is, as they're able to find one on the return side. But first blood and the experience still going the way of that Batrider.
That's like the equivalent of the net worth stanking usually has at like 40 minutes right there, that one kill.
Wait
He's
a minute.
rich, man.
Did he not
400
lose?
gold.
Did he not lose any gold from that? Okay.
Oh, the bat?
Yeah, or the timber saw it looked like. That was it must have been a replay bug or something. Regardless, a big deal. Well, bottom lane, BSJ, he does have a lot of armor on this hero. 12 to be true. Oh my god, that was actually not what they needed to get with that Sprout, though, and they're going to be able to turn this back around.
No,
Franz in a little bit of
spread.
trouble. Oh my god, all right, Walda's going to end up being able to walk away from that one, but that Sprout, oh god, it's not what you want to see.
I was watching the mid lane. Did it, was it in front of him?
It actually kept the Doom inside of the Sprout, which meant that they couldn't run him down.
Well, that's not good. No, that's not the one.
It was a little bit weird, to be honest. Like, there were creeps that are around at the same time, and BSJ, you got pretty fast movement speed on this Terrorblade here, so not the easiest one in the world to land, but still very unfortunate.
Well, again, Sovereign making his way back. He's got the Soul Ring, but it can't last forever. Stan King level 3. Thanks to that kill. That kill's actually so huge for Stan King. Like, he got a mad amount of experience killing that Batrider. He was still stuck at, like, level 1 for a while. Again, mid, running onto CC, but he's got the Timber Chain, so
Yeah,
back himself away.
should be fine for now. And well, obviously, he was a little bit too far forward earlier and thought that he was going to be able to get away from that one with the wand that he's picked up. So not the greatest farm in the world if you compare 29 and 2 on the Batrider versus the 20 and 2 of the Timber, but still not the worst thing in the world. He's getting his levels.
Yeah, you think about this matchup, and there's just so many things that are so god-awful about it. Like, not only it's in the mid lane, so if he's too far out, he's just going to have no trees to actually go to. That ward just spawned.
It actually didn't end up spotting him until he came around the other side. He was inside the trees far enough that they didn't spot him, and now Slayer is going to get jumped on. The Chakram is going to connect, and they've also got that, Crush. Is it going to be enough damage? The Timber Chain actually missed, and because of that, they're going to be able to pull Franz back the other direction. I think that Slayer's going to get away with this one and might even be able to kill off that Doom. Oh, a really unfortunate situation. Nature Prophet is going to TP in to make this happen, and turning around onto Frozen, wants to battle him out, and they also got the Sunray, but he's going to end up going down. Lion so low and is going to fall because of it. Just massacres in the mid lane as they peer through the trees, and that's going to end up being a dead Nature's Prophet. Triple kill for MJW. Excuse me, Elder Titan, not Nature's Prophet. Oh my god.
MGW, redemption after the Sprout. Just caused him the triple. 713 gold at 6.5 minutes. I think he might go Midas. Just maybe.
Just maybe.
Possibly being on the Nature's Prophet.
It's an option,
man.
definitely.
Well, I love how much they're helping out this mid lane, right? Because think of a Timber Saw. Like, you need the trees to try and live. And then the other thing is your reactive armor, which we've seen some Timber Saws lately even maxing out. Does literally nothing. Like, he can't even get the creeps to aggro to him because he's so damn slow with his turn rate that if he tries, like, aggro creeps, he won't be able to turn his way back to the tower. And just Batrider adding nothing to the stacks there. You can just see he's got no reactive armor as he retreats to the tower. Like, he's even skilling up some more, but it's not going to help him here. It will once he gets roaming around and actually fighting, but
Yeah.
in lane, just totally worthless.
That's really too bad, too, because it's just, it's part of what brought him back into prominence. I mean, you can talk all you want about the whirling death changes and the fact that it ends up persisting for longer, but it's not really the biggest deal. And now CCNC, he is going to end up getting caught. That's the sleep, and they do have Flaming Lasso, but not looking like they want to use it. A little bit afraid about the rotations that could come in, and that ward is right there. They're going to be able to catch onto him, and suddenly 4 heroes in the mid lane. Slayer, unfortunately, is going to end up dropping as Winray is not quite strong enough. They are going to sleep up 2 in the mid lane again, and they get the net from afar. They jump forward, are going to be able to bring him down. A flurry of damage coming out from that Timber Saw, and they're able to take it. 2 heroes dead mid.
Damn, they're just running this over and giving that early farm to the Timbersaw. Like we talk about how in the off lane sometimes you can struggle quite a bit and not get into the Bloodstone until quite a ways into the game, and you're just like creating space almost for your Timbersaw. Not the case right now. Everyone's just running his lane. He's getting a couple of kills. Well, he actually only got one that time, but 4 assists. He'll take it.
Absolutely.
Arcane. Ooh, he even gets a haste rune. Nice.
If
That's
they were
very
able
sick,
to,
Timber.
if they could do something and try and shut down BSJ, this would be huge. Because again, it's a great answer in general to what the Terrorblade brings to the table. Again, 15 armor on this guy right now, but only 740 HP. So if you can get on top of him, it's a really, really great situation for the Timbersaw. And as of yet, they haven't been able to do it. Actually, it looks like he's going to be building into a Dragonlance. What do you think about that item pickup here?
It's like mega stat efficient, and that's always what's important on a Terrorblade, so makes sense. I mean, I've even seen Meepos picking up like 3 of them over in SEA. It's like the best bang for your buck item in terms of stats. So if there's any hero who's going to buy it, it makes sense when it's the Illusion Master himself in Terrorblade. Probably like Dragonlance Scotty, I guess.
It seems pretty strong to me. And again, you don't really want to fight unless you've actually got Metamorphosis up anyways, so it does make sense to be going for it, and then just more into those stat items like the Scotty you were talking about. But we'll see what he opts to go for. There's still a lot of options. And I guess it also depends upon how they want to play this game. Like, do you feel like they need to start trying to tear down these towers quickly, or are they somewhat comfortable with just sort of a slower pace, farming up the items that they want?
It kind of depends on who's going to be making the first move, I guess, right? In like terms of these responses. Like right now, Stan King and Franz are smoking up. Can they continue to put the pressure onto Slayers and like limit that Blink Dagger? He's only 400 gold away. A bit of vision coming in here.
They've got 6 on Doom. They've got their eyes on this Terrorblade down here in the bottom lane, and oh, excuse me, it's just frozen. All right, never mind. That's
They're wishing he was there.
Yeah.
They're hoping it's something more than a Phoenix, because Frozen obviously likely he's just gonna have a dive, but CC's gonna just try and chase him down through the trees.
oh, quick and easy TP away. Gonna try and find the kill. Not gonna be able to get
I
it.
feel like he should have had that, but the vision, of course,
Yeah.
hard to tell.
Well, when he went through there to try and go for like the right click through the trees, that way as soon as you spot him, you're able to get on top of him. But then because of that, it sort of had to animation cancel away. But they're still going to be able to get the tier 1. Well worth it for that rotation. I mean, they're shutting down the jungle now, so it's going to be harder for Terrorblade to get what he wants.
Bottom tower has fallen.
1 down. So mid, I guess, will be the next target. Right? This ward has been like so value for the Radiant side.
It really has.
Not that it's been like helping them that much, but
It's been up for a while.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's spotted quite a few people, but they haven't quite made the reactions to it that maybe you'd hope for. But CC's just like solo pushing this.
Dire's top
I mean, that's the
tower
thing
is
that's
under
nice about the
attack.
reactive armor build when you eventually get it, is you get up to like 30 regen per second. Frozen, dropping low but not dead. And it looks like they're going to be trying to chase this one. Doom is going to run him down. He can actually just drop Doom and find the kill. Looks like he's going to try and go for the Infernal Blade proc. That should be enough to kill him off.
Oh, that was sick. Nice. Saving that Doom.
He's pretty fast. Oh, backside Slayer is in a lot of trouble. He's just going to get right-click down. Can they kill off MJW? They are going to be able to find that one. So Batrider gets the return kill. A lot of gold going his way after the triple from the NP that happened earlier.
Yeah, Windlace is quite the item here. His Franz just runs people down. That's good pick off though.
Yeah.
Trying to limit MJW. He actually went for like mega push, so you see that early drums instead, and he's gonna go for what I'd say was popularized most by Na'Vi during their big winning streak. Before we had like the vanilla qualifiers and everything, and during Dream League and stuff, as they just went drums, mech every single game on the Nature's Prophet for general, just like over and over and over.
Yeah.
And they ran the exact same strategy, very similar to Newbie, where like you're picking the same heroes and you're doing the same thing, but they still won like every single game,
Right.
and that was a big part of it for them.
Well, we'll see if it's going to end up paying off this time. Of course, there's been a lot of changes to the meta. One part of it that I do like a lot is being able to sprout somebody and then follow that up with like a timber saw, timber chain in, because then you're wherever it is that the fight's happening, you're going to be able to find somebody. Oh, Slayer keeps his eyes there. Oh my God, that Earth Spike followed up by the Hex is going to end up trying to TP away, but he is going to be slept no matter what. Still a kind of a nice play there from him. That was pretty well done. I like that.
Don't think he'll be getting a blink anytime soon. The good thing is though, Slayer, he's got 1,000 gold. He can start building up to that 4-staff. Man, Visa's just coming in right now.
He wants to party.
Like a DD or something. Oh, the party's on.
Oh, but there's going to be the stomp into the sun, and they've also got the Earth Splitter that's going to come through. It looks like they're going to be okay for the moment, so the stun is still going to end up connecting, and CCNC did not hit his chain as those trees were all but dead. So a lot of action, but no kills.
Yeah, now they can just bring their own push up here. If MJW wants to make his way, he can. He's got the TP up and ready. Mid lane, though, yeah, this is the play to make for sure. Don't give any free towers over to BSJ, right? They can't contest top yet. We talk about the team fight and everything, but... Oh, I got the sleep. Okay. Can't capitalize, though. They just used Ag. Highly unlikely Sovereign will be able to make a play here.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, he's building into that mechanism. They don't really want to necessarily fight as of yet, I'm guessing, and... It's just looking like, oh, never mind. They're going to jump onto Walt. They do pull him back. A lot of damage. Finger of Death is going to go out onto Slayer. He is still alive, though, but they are able to bring him on down. Stan King running away for the moment. They catch the chains onto BSJ in a little bit of trouble. On the other side, though, they do have that Terrorblade, as well as the Elder Titan. Stan King dropping low is going to end up going down to the Sunray at the end. Never mind. One more right click from Terrorblade finishes him. And it looks like they've got the Doom, but don't want to expend it.
Yeah, so they end up making the rotation. I don't think they got anything extra out of that, right? They still lost the Lion. TPs don't get anything. They stop the push top, so that's a big play for Enemy.
Yeah.
Got everything they could have possibly wanted out of that, and that gave enough space for Sovereign to purchase up the mech recipe. It's now on its way on the courier, and if they get some sort of a group up back up top, like Egg's back in 12 seconds, they can certainly defend this if they have to. MGW's just coming in like right away. Try that. That was a little bit forward, but he's got backup. It's fine.
Well, and the weird thing is that the DS just TP'd down to the bottom lane. So he's actually going to push that out. It looks like they don't want to fight around there. Instead, they're going to try and push out this bottom lane and get a little bit more farm up. Kind of an interesting choice.
And with him showing, they're definitely going to push top. Because he's all of their control. I mean, yeah, maybe he'll get stomped, I suppose. But in terms of dire side vision, he was the only one they saw. But Stan King and Franz smoked up.
Blink Dagger ready to be revealed on the Doom. If they
them.
could get this would be really enormous. And looking for the catch. They're going to blink out in just a second. Get the Doom down onto one. They also had the follow-up stomp there. And Slayer was able to get off the Firefly. Can he actually escape, though? It doesn't look like it. They do have that Earth Splitter that's going to go through, but it doesn't actually end up connecting onto anybody. The Sunray from afar, but it's not hidden. And EnemyGG need to back up. They're a little bit out of the depth.
MJW's down bottom. I wonder if they'll keep pressuring here. Like, they see the Terrorblade down in the jungle.
The chains, he got fogged. That would have been a kill.
MJW just does not care at all about BSJ. His presence doesn't scare him. Again, he can just TP away.
Yeah, he's very comfortable with where he's at. They do get that reflection off and a couple of right clicks, but not going to be able to do anything. Top lane, though, Sovereign is having a little bit of a battle with Bisa, and looks like as they bring more people in, it's still like, how do you stop him? Like, you have to get that catch with the lasso.
I have no idea how to kill Bisa this game. It shouldn't even be possible, realistically. Like, it's one of those games where this is why, and it's kind of a, a little bit of a running joke at this point, but Eternal Envy just always picking the Ember Spirit, and you'd always just say things like, some games, there are just games where the Ember Spirit should never die, and this is one of them. I mean, I don't know what could possibly stun you before you could possibly Remnant. Unless they itemize towards it, but they don't even have the heroes for that, but, like, short of like a Blink Hex from Sovereign.
I think that's what they're eventually going to have to build towards, and I guess in the meantime just try and stop the flurry of tower push that you're going to be seeing, but with the Boots of Travel already up on Ember Spirit and a lot of these other heroes here, like it's a real issue. And like Timbersaw, 17-minute Bloodstone, not the worst in the world. It's pretty freaking good.
How is he doing anyway? Yeah, probably the Blink. Blink would be an alright item next.
Oh, they're looking for it though. If they can catch here onto this Ember, it'd be huge. They are showing beforehand.
Yeah, later.
Oh,
there's no way. They didn't. There's no heroes for this.
I mean, if they catch the lasso on him, that's a kill, right? Like, I feel like if the Elder Titan had not shown himself right there and not thrown out that spirit, they might have been able to find that kill.
I don't know. I would hope that with Bisa, it's just... Well, is he playing with ping, actually? That's actually pretty important. No, he's good.
Okay.
So there's like realistically
God.
like, no way. He's got 99 ping. Maybe they can catch him with lasso.
SJ running away again over here in the river. Slayer's going to be trying to get his way out of here. It already blinked, so that's not going to end up interrupting it, but CC&C running into the Sunray. Frozen has taken a lot of damage, needs Icarus dive away. They're able to hit the chains onto one, but it looks like they're going to continue the chase. Sovereign does have the opportunity here to go for his just run down with that Ion Shell. Already used Vacuum Wall. Franz, meanwhile, kills off another as Batrider ends up going down over there to the side. Sovereign might end up dropping as well. CC&C, a flurry of damage, and now trying to run away for the moment. Elder Titan in a lot of trouble. Already a pretty big gold swing into the favor of the side of FDL as the spirits come out, but well, Sunray as well. They catch a nice little stun, but already the Phoenix is dead. Three are gone, and they're going to end up losing this Elder Titan as well. Bloodstone charges abound for this Timber.
Yeah, but BSJ's farming bot. So, I mean, worthy trade?
I mean,
it's a tough game for a Terrorblade. He's up to the Yasha and probably get into a Manta by the time they're reaching that high ground, but they are just running him over right now on the side of FDL.
Radiant's top tower.
yeah, they are not about stopping. They are just going to continue this, and unfortunately, they've drafted a lot of team fight, but the way that these engagements have gone, they've been very sort of skirmishy, back and forth, not the big 5-on-5 engagements that you would naturally be able to come out ahead on if you're EnemyGG. And I think that at this stage, like, you just got to keep on farming, trying to hold high ground as long as you can, and eventually itemize into something that's going to allow you to take an advantage.
Yeah, and massive spike coming out here now for the Dire side because they have the Blink on the line as well as the Battle Fury up on Bisa too. And combined up with that now 15 charges for CC&C on the Bloodstone. Things are looking fairly good for the Dire side. They don't have anything to worry about. What about the rating? They're going to last onto Bisa, but it's still gone. Like, they don't even have follow-up stuns. I mean, even if there's a last...
Yeah.
I'm not getting it, man.
It hurts. I mean, what was that Ember? It was the 4th pick, right? And then that led into a Batrider last. Like, they itemized as good as they could afterwards. It's just that based upon where they were in the draft, Ember was such a good 4th pick there. And they had everything that they needed.
I feel like they definitely needed a better controlling mid than... Like, Batrider's sick for, like... I was envisioning him killing, like, the carry. Like, some position 1 that you need to kill. Like, be it Terrorblade or Sven or something along those lines that aren't that mobile. But when it comes to your... You know, Queen of Pains, your Storm Spirits, your Pucks, and everything like that, your Slarks, it's not really what Batrider's that great at. And in this case, the Ember Spirit, of course.
Well, and maybe seeing a little bit of a problem with going for the... I don't think that the Elder Titan was the wrong pick, though. I think that it was probably that Phoenix that ended up probably causing the biggest issue for them, because... Oh my God, Timbersaw, please.
He's got an Eastern, dude. He's got to run.
He does have to run. Top lane, there's a little bit of a battle, but also down bottom, they're going to try and see if they can catch out BSJ. It does look like he's going to end up getting doomed. Ran down CC&T trying to find the kill, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find it. The egg is going to end up being what they battle into. Sovereign in a lot of trouble. Ends up going down. They also kill off the Supernova. Oh no, EnemyGG in a lot of trouble.
Under attack.
Yeah, they can just clean this one up, head into the Roshan if they'd like, and
Radiant's
get right to securing this one. Can Slayer get a tier 1 top? They're going to glyph.
are fortified.
Yeah.
MGW's like, nah, man. Get out of here. I'm not losing any of these things this game.
Yeah, it's just so tough right now. Like, you have this Terrorblade who's incredibly farmed right here. He's got his Manta style, he's got his Dragon Lance. If they're capable of just sort of like, you know, bailing away and just continuing to hit down some of these heroes, he's going to do a tremendous amount of damage, but I just don't see FDL giving them that opportunity.
They've had great vision as well. Something that we talked about a little bit where they had the Warden here, keeping an eye on BSJ, and it's not only the fact that BSJ is playing Terrorblade and he's always revealing like the illusions and stuff, pushing, but there's usually some kind of a mystery as where the actual Terrorblade is, but generally their vision's been doing a good enough job to keep an eye on that and knowing that all these fights they take are 5-on-4. And despite the big wombo combo and AoE lineup, that kind of a tuning to your draft doesn't do much when it's an Ember Spirit, because all that AoE, he just jukes one of them and then the follow-ups are never going to hit, and you're all just getting controlled and jumbled up in the back lines.
Is he going for a second Battle Fury? What is he building here? Oh, he's going into a Daedalus, of course. Yeah, I'm silly.
It's okay. Those days are hopefully gone, I think.
I love those
I haven't
days.
seen one of those in a while.
Well, it does look like now as they're starting to push out this bottom lane. Again, they need to get a good lasso. They need to take a good team fight around the Roche pit, and as they start to break high ground are probably going to be the points that are strongest for EnemyGG. And I would hope to see them try and just farm up on a couple of these other cores, get some more farm on the Darkseer, get some more farm up on the Batrider, and put them in a position where they can be relevant in these engagements.
Yeah, the other part is like when Stand King's higher than both of your supports, you got a problem. You know, there hasn't been a man this poor since PPD stopped playing Earthshaker.
That's true.
Nice little scan there from the Radiant. Spot out Bisa.
Yeah.
Get him out of there. Oh, actually, that was a dire scan hitting on the Darkseer. It's so hard to tell on the map.
Yeah.
But thank you, little tidbit now.
Yeah, it's good
I don't
stuff,
have
man.
to check cooldowns every single time I want to know whose scan it was.
Slayer looking for another catch here as Timbersaw is left alone. Like, if they could find a pick onto him, this is the other way back into it. I don't think it's just the Ember, but it's the combination of the Ember and the Timbersaw who just create such a difficult situation as far as being able to find a... Like, because they have to shut down one of them, right? And if they don't shut down one, if they don't catch one with that lasso, then it's just like, it's all over at that point.
Got to go for the mega high ground, man. The Darkseer plays. But they've shown it already this game. Nah, just going to hand that one over. Get up some BKBs, get up an Aegis before you go, make Franz into like that true fourth core where he's really catching up with the Timber and Ember. He's damn close. Gets the Lincoln
Oh my
Sphere.
God.
Great game for that.
It really is. And you can put it on others, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best thing.
Bisa is just like, thank you, friend. I truly appreciate this.
He can build into more damage now. He's already got the Chrysalis. And another Haste Rune on deck, this time for the Lion who's smoked up. And looks like it's time to go. As if they're able to find somebody right here. Oh, Batrider, they break the smoke looking for the catch and are going to be able to get the Hex onto one. They don't follow up there. And a little bit of a missed stun. Don't worry, it's fine. Back on out and have another go in a second. They put the Lincolns even onto the Batrider there. Or, excuse me, onto the Lion there.
Yeah, Sovereign's like way up here just trying to get some split push going. This is good, right? Because you're pushing the wave, MJW's a TP, you get a little bit of info that he's not there, and I'd love to see them try and go for something here. Slayer's gonna Firefly, they might be able to catch Franz, possibly. Rainy Vision, he sees him.
They already have that Lincoln's up on Bisa. That's the real person that they need to catch. Unfortunately, it's not really going to be an opportunity for it at this point. They blink back, don't want to get caught, and looks like they're going to disengage for the moment.
Where his Remnants at? Yeah, oh, there they are in the jungle.
Yeah. Well away.
Yeah. He had 4-staff range. I thought he might try like the 4-staff lasso, but it's okay.
Again, it's so hard for them to do anything at this stage, and like they bring only the Ember Spirit there, and he doesn't have to worry about anything because he's got the Lincolns on him, and then afterwards he's also just an Ember Spirit, so he's going to be able to remnant away. And they're pushing in each and every one of these lanes and just making sure that there's nowhere for EnemyGG to really feel comfortable farming unless they're all there together.
It's not even like there's any chance of them like split pushing this out and gaining some sort of an advantage. Like, maybe BSJ, I guess, can continue to get relatively farmed and stay on top of the map, but overall it's just going to keep scaling slower and slower downward on that graph towards the dire side.
I mean, it's 12k already, or 14,000 net worth lead and 15,000 experience. Like, it's just been by virtue of them farming out the enemy jungle the whole time and them farming out their own jungle. There's just such efficient use of the map right here. And you can do that because of the Timber. Look at his, I mean, with the Bloodstone.
Bottom.
Oh my god.
He almost had the kill.
Oh my god, Sovereign so
right.
low.
That
might be a bit of a problem. Oh my god, he's going to be able to remnant away again. Oh, that really hurts.
Yeah, that was just Pizza clowning, trying to kill a Darkseer quite literally like on his stairs. The entire team's off the map and then he gets echo stomped. Doesn't end up mattering though. And they're kind of holding the Aegis. They're just like, we don't need to take it right now. Like, what advantage does it give us, right?
Yeah. I mean, wait till you get your next set of items and then take it when you're ready to push high ground. Why not? And again, Bisa down here in the bottom lane, every time they try and go for an Echo Stomp, he's just able to get away from them. It's like never an issue. And he can feel comfortable doing this because his Remnant's always back. Like, at some point, you've got to try and come and exploit this, because he's literally done the same thing like 4 times in a row, and one time almost killed your Darkseer. If they just like smoke out and try and move down to where his Remnant, they should know it is. Like, they can maybe find a kill.
Yeah, which of course that does actually work now. It's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Now they don't give vision if you end up having to camp there that long.
Phoenix looks like he's going for a Midas. Which I'm actually okay with that. Like, he needs those levels. Level 1 egg, you saw how ineffective it was last time.
Are you... Well, yeah, I guess egg's the only thing you're relevant with this game anyway. Even if it is just going to be a Midas used 3 times. If it gets you to level 11, are the tomes? Alright, a minute and a half. Get some tome action going. Hex on the Slayer. Adios, amigo.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's just instant death right there.
Well,
Daedalus almost done.
Does he save for buyback?
I don't think so, no. There's no point.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to be a clown, I suppose, and like just dive the fountain, he could. And just come right back in the fight with Remnants, and which wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think he should. Just buy the Daedalus, take Roche, go take one lane, feel it out, and see if you can just end the game.
Alright, well, we talked about the places where EnemyGG are going to be strong. Roche Pit is one of them. But unfortunately, they are not feeling comfortable moving out at all, so they're going to have to just sit back, defend their base. But this, to me, feels like it's time to push down mid afterwards and try and take whatever advantage you can, sort of double down upon it by taking a lane of Rax. Again, it's going to be the completed Daedalus, and Ember Spirit is going to have an Aegis on him, so more than comfortable with where they're at. They're actually TPing over here to the side as they want to try and push out these lanes as quickly as they can. Like, Terrorblade is still the most farmed hero in the game. It's worth noting. It's not an anti-mage, but he's still a pretty good hero.
Yeah, but like, what can he even do with it? Is he... He's still 2-0-1. BSJ. He's doing what he was designed to do in this draft, I suppose, but the early game not offering them really... Like, I don't understand, like, the win condition for this. I guess you wipe them, like, 6 times at your high ground, and then you just run down mid. But it almost feels like that's what this draft was almost designed to do, was like wiping teams at tier 2s or something, but they're too far behind to fight out there at this point is the main issue. But it's such a tough to execute like combo lineup, as you talked about at the very beginning of the draft.
I mean, if they're capable of getting one more stomp, I don't think that FDL are still going to feel completely comfortable just running up high ground, because you've still got Vacuum, you've still got Stomp, and while Ember can get away, a lot of these other heroes might not have that same luxury. So you still have to be careful. Like, it's not an easy win by any means. As they're actually going to pull back in. CCNC is going to get dropped very low. Vacuum also going to be able to find the sleep. Stomp, he ends up having to commit suicide. And now MJW controlled. No, he's not going to end up going down. I don't think they have Vacuum again in a little bit if they wanted to try and take this one. Wall available as well. They drop the Doom on BSJ. Terrorblade still fairly tanky. They get the Earth Spike onto several, and now it's time to retreat. Oh god, this could be really rough. They do still have Supernova if they want to try and ensure they're escaping. Meanwhile, also, Elder Titan right away. They want to just turn and fight this. Franz is going to end up going down suddenly. A flurry of damage in the Vacuum Wall onto 2. They're starting to do this and bring it back the other direction. Another one goes their way. Triple kill for BSJ, and now it's time to push out these lanes a little bit more.
Well, that all starts with just, like, what's CCNC doing down here? I mean, why would you ever be here without your whole team? Come on now. You guys playing this game so well. Like, they're doing exactly what we talked about, not giving them the 5-man, just constantly split pushing, farming, getting a massive net worth advantage before going high ground. But in doing so, eventually you can make some mistakes. So CC a little bit too deep. And then as well, once he respawned, he went for the boots of travel back in, and the creep died. I'm not sure if it was Treants he went on, they expired or what, but he attempted it, and it expired. So then he's just stuck, like, trying to run from base, and they get wiped down there.
Is he going Hex, by the way? BSJ, is that, or what's he eventually building into here? Lincolns? Yeah, I get for the Doom.
Could be his own Lincolns, but yeah, I guess that's the only thing that really makes sense.
I mean, Hex wouldn't be
Or
the worst thing
Scotty,
in the world.
I suppose.
Yeah, just for the stats.
I don't think that's the build for Terrorblade, though.
I mean,
no Meepo.
The thing about it, the reason I don't necessarily know if, like, Lincoln's is going to end up making the biggest difference is because you saw there, even when he got doomed, he was pretty okay. He was able to sort of, survive through it and just right-click them down. He doesn't have lifesteal as of yet, but yeah, I don't know. I think that either one is pretty okay with me. If they had some other way to try and lock down that Ember Spirit, it'd be great. It looks
Yeah,
like it is
speaking
just
of
going to be
which-
that Lincoln's.
He's close to the
Oh.
Aegis expiring as well.
Surge. They've got Vacuum Wall if they want to go back in. Oh my god, Finger
there
of
we go.
Death from afar. Going to be able to catch on to several here. They're in a little bit of trouble, and damage is going to start to come in. They're able to bring down Bisa. Might get stunned by the follow-up egg. Is it going to end up coming in time? No, not quite there, but they still do have the ability to catch a really nice stun from Sand King, but he might end up paying for it as they run him down. Again, we've talked about this, and you can't feel safe going against this lineup from EnemyGG.
Right, I am like massively underestimating his damage, I guess. I mean, it is a Terrorblade, so that does tend to happen, but BSJ, man. He's somehow
Oh.
getting it done. Unfortunately, possibly not this time. There goes the Lincolns. That's the doom.
Yeah, this is a
That's
problem.
a single core lineup. He just bought a 4-staff. That's not a buyback.
Oh, what? What was that?
I don't know. He probably won't need it anyway. Maybe he was just thinking that I'm not going to need my buyback.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I know. He bought a 4-staff, I know. But,
Okay.
Sprout? No,
Oh,
got-
he's
like,
going
it's-
he's going for Hurricane Pike, but he wanted to buy out first, I guess, and
Oh, right.
because he's
Yeah.
going to be ranged. Interesting.
The Quelling Blade and, like, still be able to break Sprout. It's and then, of course, yeah, the whole range, like, infinite thing. It kind of makes sense. I like it as, like, a really late pickup if you're getting the Dragonlance for the stats anyway.
Yeah. It does seem a little bit weird to do that. I mean, they're not going to end up pressuring the high ground right now, are they? Well, 20 more seconds. It's a little bit scary.
Radiant's middle tower.
I'd be a little bit worried at this point if I was them. They do still have Slayer that's up here. He's going to end up TPing back, and it looks like they don't want to try and pressure this. Previously, they underestimated the damage output that you had from that Terrorblade, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen again. Oh my god.
Franz just, like, ran up. I don't know, he devoured a creep. Nexus Sovereign just, like, blinks away.
Oh, they catch now, top lane. MJW and a lot of damage, and it looks like the Earth Spike is not going to end up being able to control them for the moment, so he is going to end up dropping possibly a couple more right clicks. They have the mechanism. Oh, suddenly a lot of heroes are here. He ends up missing that chain coming out, though, from CCNC. There's going to also be the jump back. Isn't enough damage, though, to kill him off. They've still got the heals that's coming through, and now Bisa in a little bit of trouble. He does have a remnant, but is not going to be able to go to it, and now suddenly CCNC is dead. They might end up losing a little bit more. He actually is going to have to run it away. My god, that was a ton of damage, though.
This seems so surprising considering they don't even have, like, defensive heroes, you know, to back up BSJ in the slightest. And they have Sunray, I guess, but and the mechanism, but there's no one like the Dazzle or the Oracle, you know, where you're really looking at these position 1 heroes, and you're expecting that kind of a thing to come out. But nice team play synergy here. Frozen. This is one thing a lot of teams have been talking about too. Is how do you deal with Phoenix? Like, how do you actually stop him from Sunraying mid fight? You saw MJW. He blinked on top of him, and then immediately came out the egg, and MJW's like, "Well, shit, I'm too low," and he tried to TP home, but he died anyway. And it can be very difficult to actually, like, interrupt him in the middle. They don't really have the best stuns or anything to do that.
And I mean, this is the other thing, is that we've seen Sunray be pretty effective this fight, or these games, but Supernova really, for me, has been the story. It's something that I think is going to play a bigger role as this game goes on, because they've got, what is it, 3 melee cores, and then the Lion who's pretty vulnerable, as well as that Nature's Prophet, so it's hard for them to actually bring it down once that gets leveled up. The Hurricane Pike is now completed for the Terrorblade, and it looks like the smoke is about to break in a second. Do they have vision on this? They're going to run a couple of illusions into them, and now they end up being able to spot it. The jump forward are going to be able to connect onto several. Can they get off any of their big spells right now, though? They're looking to get the stomp. Is going to be able to find it onto 2. There's also going to be Sovereign starting to drop a vacuum wall onto a couple. Stan King is trying to walk away. He is going to be able to survive through that 16 HP. BSJ, meanwhile, trying to run away for the moment. They've already killed off 3. Might be able to get a 4th. Can they control him? There's going to be the damage. It's off from the Infernal Blade onto the Terrorblade, but it looks like he is going to be able to walk away for the moment. Nice 4-staff, keeping him there, but the chain's catching out. Slayer's going to drop. They end up being able to try and turn this back around. He ends up falling. Oh no, and the buybacks start to come. He had already used Sunder. Oh, that's a ton of gold going their direction.
They went for the risky play on that one, because there was the option of we all buy back now and we come out because BSJ is, like, running and he's doomed. We can come out, we can help protect him. But they were like, all right, no, you can make it home. We can all save our buybacks. Like, the waves are pushed far enough. They can't just immediately come into the base. No one's going to have to buy back. but unfortunately, not the case. Enough chase down from the side of FDL, and they get punished hard. Come back with those buybacks and get nothing out of them.
And again,
And that's
like we were talking about the need for the farm that you have on these other heroes here, and one of them is Sovereign, who's trying to build towards what I'm assuming was going to be the Hex, and now is stuck at a very low amount of farm. This is a really scary
they want him
position.
for sure.
Oh, Frozen. He ends up going down as well. God, that's a really big one.
Sovereign's also the one with no buyback, though, so they can get him. It's massive. And BSJ trying to hold out his own buyback. It looks like they'll probably lose top melees.
This is... I don't understand why Slayer is up here if they're not doing it. Like, if they're not going to buy back BSJ, he's just showing up here to try and, like, keep them back somewhat and pull their... Like, if he gets picked off...
They're actually focusing the range. They should save the melees, maybe?
Well, the vacuum onto several. They drop the wall as well. Damage. CCNC is going to be able to walk away. BSJ is here trying to right-click these heroes down. Franz is going to drop. End up being able to get the Earth Spike off. That is going to also connect. No chains, though, for the moment at least. And looks like Bisa does not have a Remnant out for the moment. The Flame Guard is going to end up breaking there. On the other side, Slayer looking for a catch. Has been able to pull back Sand King. He's going to drop. Now BSJ turning onto these other heroes. And MJW is back in the fray as well. He's starting to drop a really nice Sunder. Ends up being able to keep him alive. But is it enough? That's the question I got. MJW still dropping low, but not dead. And the TP comes in. They're going to hold him back for the moment. That was a buyback from the Elder Titan.
It's hard to believe how well these fights are going, just considering the deficit you're at. And yeah, you have this Mega Farm Terrorblade, he's way above everyone else, but it's difficult to imagine, like, how did... Oh, nice. Free gem. They want to bring the courier? Possibly. Someone? Anyone? Anyone want a free gem? I feel like that's even worth dropping your ring right now for Bisa.
Ring, bottle, yeah, he does.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Good stuff, because, like, Slayer's, like, on
He
standing.
denies it.
At least he's got one for himself.
Oh, no.
Like, one of the pitfalls of Ember is that he does really suffer in terms of single target damage unless they're, like, in the middle of a wave or, you know, a team fight or something like that, right? And you're getting that massive cleave and everyone takes, like, 2k damage, but they don't have the best... If they don't Doom the Terrorblade, you have been seeing what happens. BSJ just runs totally amok, so this whole Lincoln Sphere as well as even the Hurricane Pike just to keep his distance. I understand why he's going for these builds. Finally, a Scythe does come out here for the side of the Dire to match up there with that Hex that they have, and a Dagon.
Oh, my God.
The old Dagon.
He's had enough.
CNC.
He's tired of it. He's got his Ags already. 15 Bloodstone charges. It's not the best in terms of his mana regeneration, but it's all about burst at this point, I guess. And again, I feel like they've been playing these fights so well. And again, like the economy game, you've been seeing a side of EnemyGG pull their way back into it, but it can't be overestimated how much FDL was able to control the early stages that put themselves in this position to be 20,000 net worth ahead, as well as right around the same amount of experience. Like, they did such a great job of controlling them in the early game. And I think that, like, moving into game number 2, whichever way this ends up going, that's got to be a concern for EnemyGG moving forward. They've got to address that somehow.
This net worth chart is just like, oh, slowly coming back, and then we lose the fight. And can they bring that back again? Possibly. I mean, it's not like you can itemize that well into total single target damage unless MJW becomes like a total right-click core at this point, right? Like going forward, he's got the Scythe, which is decent damage, and can start ditching out the drums. He's already lost the mechanism. But here's your Aegis. That'll be going on to Bisa.
Yeah, he's pretty stacked at this point. I want to see this Dagon start doing some work. It's going to be time. Late stages, though, as these games continue, do we need to be worried about this lineup? Like, I still feel like Terrorblade, if they win a fight, is going to be able to tear through the towers incredibly quickly.
I mean, currently they still don't really have an answer for BSJ. Like, Doom is one thing, but it's more like, oh yes, they got the Doom, this game like could be over, but it's rather difficult to actually do.
He's also got a
good coordination.
10-second BKB isn't bad either for him. So picking that one up late definitely helps.
Just means that like getting it off now, and even if you get doomed, you can at least make your way out of the fight and come back in without taking too much magical damage or being continuously like CC'd up by everyone else, like the Lion.
I always check.
The Hex, so
the one nice part about it, too, the Infernal Blade does not go through the BKB, so if you're capable of getting that off, that's been one of the best ways for them to try and deal with him, because it's percentage-based damage and that stun as well. But we'll see where they end up going. So it looks like it's Bisa wanting to get... God, look at the damage on that Elder Titan. He drops down to almost dead in just a couple of seconds. Big plays could come out in a second from Sand King if he's able to find a solid initiation, and obviously having the Blink in the Force makes it pretty great for catching him. The Lincoln Sphere on Bisa means he's not going to get controlled, and they back out again.
Yeah, MJW is going to pick himself up a BKB as well back home. Try and keep himself out of these wombo combos. Tough for him without like a Lincoln Sphere to be anywhere too scary. Ooh, nice little scan there. Is actually going to catch out their smoke. Oh, that could be duped. Oh no, they might be duped actually. Because the Batrider was showing.
Well, MJW in the midst of all of them, they're going to pull Sand King back, and they've got the capability for a big initiation. The egg is down, a lot of damage out. CCNC might be going down. All of a sudden, 3 are dead. A huge combo. BSJ gets his BKB off, is also still doomed, but he kind of doesn't care, and they're going to try and move forward for this one. Sunray down, and they drop the Lincolns to make sure that that Ember Spirit is not going to end up dying. Buyback status is something you need to start considering. Again, they don't have a great answer. You talked about it. The lack of single target damage coming out from Bisa is a real problem right now.
Yeah, this is like I'm still just trying to figure out like how do you play this at this point from FDL, because clearly like these dives and trying to fight right here, I can understand wanting to take that fight there because it's still going to be a better chance than you're going to have up on the high ground when you're trying to deal with this terrain, when you're combing up the eggs and the spirits and everything along those lines, but
Well, Dagon is apparently the answer, because that's what he's going to be building towards. Has the level 3 right now. I do like, again, the discipline being shown by EnemyGG, that they back out as soon as that Metamorphosis is down. They don't want to fight unless they've got it up and ready to go. The question is, where do you go from here? Like, does Terrorblade get that much bigger? You've got Lincoln's, Boots of Travel, Scotty, Manta, BKB, and Hurricane Pike. Like, what's the next answer? It's worth noting his attack range is really far when he ends up going into Metamorphosis, so he can probably outrange towers at this point. But does he need to try and take one of these out and like build into a butterfly, or what's your thought?
Butterfly does sound pretty sick for like if you're going to ditch the Hurricane Pike. The other option is I guess you can just go into the Moonshard, but it doesn't affect your illusions. Top lane, they got MJW.
Pulling him back, vacuum, and a quick and easy one. He even pops his BKB for that one. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. How many charges was that? That's the 9-second one. Ugh.
Yeah, they wouldn't mind getting a push down bottom, just seeing the TP from BSJ. That would actually be kind of crazy. I'm like positive they saw that come in. I don't think capitalize on this at all, but they don't have the best tower pushes as well. And they're going to go for it.
Yeah, all right. Well, as you mentioned, he is not going to be able to be back for, again, 10 seconds. So it looks like, unfortunately, they're not really going to be able to do it. Yeah, it's too bad. They're going to end up TPing back the Ember. And that's going to clear through those creep waves very, very rapidly. And as soon as that happens, you see, again, FDL, really good decision-making here. They back out. They make sure that they're not going to end up putting themselves at risk, and they're going to be able to get out of here.
It feels like at this point, this game, if it's going to be lost by FDL, has to come from that high ground siege failing, right? Yeah. And when it comes to the game dragging on later and later, if they just refuse to go for this high ground siege, and they're going to force out smokes and everything from the side of the Radiant, are they, even if they get like a single hero, is that enough for them to push forward? I'm not too sure. Like if it's Bisa, I could understand, but if it's just the Doom or the Lion or even the Timbersaw, I feel like there's still some decent defense from the Dire side, as well as they have buybacks too. Like you're gonna have to string so many of these things together that it'll be interesting once we're pushed out to the point where the Radiant, as you can see now, they're like some of these heroes are coming out of the base for the first time. What feels like forever. You know, Sovereign's like, oh my god, there's still like a Radiant jungle. Yeah. This is exciting. Slayer's over near the Roche pit. Like, this is whole new territory to them right now.
They've never done this before. Yeah, no, I would agree. It feels like the later this game goes that there are those problems that come up for EnemyGG is, you know, also the cores, just the number of cores. All the heroes scale incredibly well into the late game. The one thing that I would say is that there are problems inherent with EnemyGG's draft. Like we talked about, the single target lockdown, the ability to control somebody. and those are starting to be resolved by virtue of the itemization. You see that the sheep stick's already up now on the Darkseer, so this to me signals that you might not be in an entirely comfortable position late game against this. I feel like the side of EnemyGG still has so much more to grow, whereas you're getting closer to capped out on the side of FDL. It's not there yet, but it's getting closer, and I might start to be a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, I was almost wondering, like, as we do start to see these last couple heroes on the dark side get capped out, what Bronze would go for. He's gone for the AC, try and help with the siege. They don't have any other real natural builders besides the like the Nature's Prophet potentially, but he's already very full on slots of that site. Top lane, this is one of these smokes, and there is B-side. Do they have any items that... Oh, nice scan.
Really good. Although that being said, he actually doesn't have another Remnant out, so he's going to need to TP away, like, right now. Do they get vision of this?
Was it on cooldown? He waited a long time for that. The maximum baits, because now he's down the bottom.
Yeah, that was nice. They need to get back here right away. Already going to end up losing one of these potentially, and nothing doing. They do end up being able to... Oh, pull him back, but they're all alone right now. They actually don't have the damage to do this. They all jumped away. Oh, that's the gem down.
I think he just came back and one-shot the Phoenix.
That was a really, really good play there by Bisa. That was so spectacular. Showing down bottom, realizing that they were going to TP to defend it, which meant that they were only going to have one hero back up there left, and the Batrider tried to find the pick, but did not nearly have enough damage. And now they lose two. The Phoenix as well as the Batrider down. They're going to have to buy back. That was a huge play. Oh my god.
Yeah, get the buybacks, get out as well. Stanking identifying the correct Terrorblade there just by getting rid of some illusions there. And he just got the tower with Trance, it looks like, down bottom.
Oh, they're being pulled apart. This is such good play right here from FDL. They're doing everything that they need to do to make this work. Like pulling the enemy across the map and then, you know, ratting it out with the Nature's Prophet. And then back up top again, the Ember Spirit goes and they all push down the top lane. And then the whole time the the Treants are pushing bottom. Like they're showing off what they're capable of doing in this one. And now they've got the Lincolns on the Ember. They're doing great.
Radiant scan. They see the Timbersaw, they've got vision of them, and they also are scanning.
They just don't have the response that they need for this quickly enough. Like, these illusions do so much damage, and the tower is actually dropping. Despite that extra armor that it got.
It's like the Necrophos buffs. Literally unkillable. The towers as well.
We'll say I haven't seen the Dagon come into too much play yet, but we're waiting. We'll see it, I'm sure. It's nice if you... Despite that extra armor that it got.
It's like the Necrophos buffs. Literally unkillable. The towers as well.
We'll say I haven't seen the Dagon come into too much play yet, but we're waiting. We'll see it, I'm sure. It's nice if he's trying to get into that point where they're going to go for a Sunder. He actually drops it right now, so looks like he decides he doesn't want it anymore. BKB more important. What's going on?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a dubious pickup here. I'm not too sure. He doesn't even know what he wants.
He's going to go back. I mean, he has a lot of damage already, and it's one of the best parts of their kit because he doesn't necessarily have to go for... Oh, that was too bad. They wanted to try and catch on to the Ember Spirit, but weren't going to be able to find him.
Again, this is where the Radiant heroes are actually like splitting under the map, so I feel a little bit better about like CC being down here, pressing the waves again, and now they'll to bring back the Batrider. Beast is now back up top. Radiant side vision. It's actually pretty solid, but it's about to expire, so they'll be dark on the map, and Roshan's back up actually in like 10 seconds here. This would be a good time for the Dire to, or the Radiant rather, to push out, maybe get a smoke going, because their waves are a pretty solid spot right now.
Yeah.
They don't have scan though.
Again, the problem though is this Ember Spirit who keeps it pushed out every single time. Like he's always on point with it. I'm kind of wondering, like, at some point if you just need to build into some control of your Terrorblade as well. Like, I get that you need to do it through your other heroes, but they just have not had an answer for this Ember Spirit. He hasn't died yet. Like, he's 6-0-10 with almost 500 last hits, and he has never been touched. Like, completely unobstructed.
Alright, BSJ's got the Moon Shard. He's got buyback Moon Shard. Everything's good. So, keep the same items for now. It'll at least make his main hero much scarier in the fights, right? Not gonna help too much on the split push, but
FDL's lineup feels like it's much more of a sort of. They've been playing probably. You could end up saying like the easier draft to execute to some extent, but they've been playing it really, really effectively. Like where you're having these. If they ended up like losing one team fight convincingly, the game's almost over. But they haven't ended up making that happen. So I've been really impressed by them so far, and now it looks like they're going to end up building into. Maybe a Bloodthorn? No, he's going Daedalus. I was wondering if we are going to see that on the Nature's Prophet, but it's going to be the Daedalus. Oh, top. They're controlling Bisa. They get the Hex off too, and TP's coming in. They need to back out of there. Slayer is in a little bit of a scary spot. He actually is able to TP in the midst of all that. That was nice. But that is going to be a little while before something else comes. Phoenix Aghanims.
that is pretty sick. I mean, you have one core. Like, if PSJ dies, you lose. So, if you have some sort of an ultimate that can potentially save your game, this is it, right? This will give him 3 lives with his buyback.
It also refreshes Metamorphosis, which is pretty cool.
Really
long
actually,
cooldown.
So I remember people talking about that actually because they were like, "What are the?" Because it doesn't refresh ultimates, right? That's
Yeah.
the big thing. What a hero!
That's actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. And what's the cooldown on it? It's 110 seconds. So if they really need it back up, they could do that. All right, well, we'll see if they're going to be able to make use of this. He's very survivable at this point. I mean, he's still got the 9-second BKB. They've still got the Hurricane Pike, the Boots of Travel, so he's super quick, and Lincoln Sphere, a lot of damage. Now a refresher, because why not? Could go for like the double Metamorphosis. That doubles your range, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Now he's getting those. I guess you call it the 8th slot with the Moon Shard. We can go with that.
I really don't think that we're going to see FDL ever try and go for a big push, though. Given the way that this lineup is going, I think they just keep on going for like the Manta-style illusions and slowly take down those towers.
Yeah, it comes down to the play of Slayer. Because MJW is going to be on his own down here, and if the Batrider can smoke up and get that pick, that's the big one.
Oh.
At least in my eyes, because they're split right now.
Oh, and they can't really deal with these little treants super quickly. The range barrack's still taking a lot of damage.
This is what they have to do, because they have to Lincoln's Vault. Because they know the only way they lose this whole scenario right now is if he gets lassoed.
Well, Lincoln Spheres abound, and still waiting for something to happen this way. It doesn't feel like it's going to be happening anytime soon. Nature's Prophet. I mean, do you even think about maybe going into like an Aghanim Scepter at some point to sort of double down on the Rat, or what's your thought there?
I don't know. Why not? Like, what else is there? That's kind of a valuable slot up against the Terrorblade, though.
Yeah.
He might need probably Moonshard. Well, actually, Boost of Travel might not be the worst thing at this point, just because of Split Push Dota.
Yeah.
Phase aren't really doing all that much at this point.
Can basically always TP at that stage if he wants. Well, it looks like they're actually going to be going back for the Lincoln Sphere also on Sovereign. Want to make sure that he's that extra bit survivable. The Tier 3 tower is going to go down. Not quite all the way, but about a quarter or a third HP. And still waiting. They buy a smoke on the Elder Titan. Again, the lack of strong disable is really showing. They need to find some other answer here.
This Phoenix Midas has just paid off so heavily. It's not even the fact that it gave him those levels that he desperately needed, and the fact that the game's gone this long, and the fact that he's shut in and just Midas and creeps gives you so much more than you normally get. It's that reliable gold, man. He recently spent all of it, unfortunately, on that Aghanim Scepter, but it can really help you get up into your buyback. And right now he's only at 508, but slowly he can start chipping away at that thanks to the Midas.
And we're starting to see again the catch up slightly from these other cores, but you're seeing there's just so much damage coming out from these guys, and the tower keeps on falling lower and lower. 6 HP, 7 HP at a time. They smoke, looking for the catch. They know what's going to be coming their way, and they want to fight apparently, but as soon as this comes out, actually on the other side, Slayer is going to chase after Bisa. I don't know what is happening right now.
God.
That was a little bit of a miscommunication because they were looking for a catch down bottom. Now are going to be able to find onto Franz. Can they find this catch, though, as they've already popped the BKB, are going to pull back Stan King. Doom ends up getting dropped onto Slayer, but he's still out of that one, and there's going to be the Earth Splitter. Finds the kill. Gem on the deck. Top lane, though, while this is all going on, they got MJWs hitting away on these barracks. They've already taken the one, and can they get any further on the other side? Doom is trying to push this one in, so they do a good hold there. They're able to hold them back for a while, but do they lose the range barracks down the bottom? Vacuum? Franz ends up sacrificing his life potentially for this and gonna try and pull him back again. You haven't actually caught him as of yet. They're doing a lot of damage, though, slowly, and MJW again is on the bottom lane, just hitting away. They might end up losing this barracks, too. They got the BKB down.
Yeah.
A lot of damage going his way. Wall is gonna he is dead. Possibly? Maybe? They got vision? Why is he just standing there?
Should have bought bots, MJW.
Oh. But the whole time through, Dagon's not quite enough to kill off Slayer. They lose the tier 3, so an extremely weird fight. They lose a lane of barracks, they lose a tier 3 tower, they lose a ranged barracks bottom, but they still kind of end up coming out ahead?
I guess you didn't lose any more melee. Or no, that was the melee, right, on the top lane. So 1 melee for all of that. Don't really count ranged at this point.
You can see right here also they're waiting on the remnant from the Ember Spirit. If he does happen to come back right now, this would be so huge. They're waiting. Sovereign is... No, they're not going to go to it. Oh, Lasso back. Onto 1, Slayer pulling him there. Franz, vacuum wall, onto 3. A lot of damage coming out. CCNC trying to kill him off, but the damage coming in from BSJ, it's not enough to bring down that Timbersaw. He's just going to be able to walk away for the moment, trying to run down Slayer, and might have overstayed his welcome a little bit too long. Oh, no, the Scotty's not going to be able to keep him there.
It was a tough escape, though.
Well, they don't
needs to
have
find like a
anything
cliff
else.
or something.
All
right.
Bat Rider
Online, boys.
goes down. The Sunray is going to be able to kill him off, but at what cost? Because guess what? That's going to be a range barracks going down the mid lane. No answer for Bisa. The big bad Bisa. He gets out.
Yeah. This is kind of what you're expecting, right? It's all fine and dandy when you're defending and you actually have this wombo combo. And credit to them for getting the wombo combo off out here as well, like the 3-man vacuum. But at some point, once you leave your base, they have the Ember Spirit, they have the Nature's Prophet. You're going to get punished if there's a single creep in there. So up to 8k gold now for Bisa, 6.8k.
One thing we didn't mention,
shard.
he did end up transferring out the Hurricane Pike for the Radiance on the Terrorblade, so miss chance is now up. He still has that refresher if he wants to use it. But the game, it's really hard right now to make anything work with this. God, and the damage from Ember is just so significant.
I was noticing that during that fight, because we saw a MJW sprout and he didn't have the TP right, and I looked at BSJ and I was like, oh, did you see he ditched the Hurricane Pike and he actually picked up a Radiance?
On
kind of
Terrorblade?
Interesting. Yeah.
I literally just said that.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
Damn it. It happens. You know how it is.
I mean,
you're looking at like 6 pages at once.
I know. It's there's a lot of stuff going on right now,
Oh,
honestly.
what a classic. I was like, get kind of pissy when my caster does that because I'm like, God damn it.
It's all good, MotPax.
To be fair, I can't listen to you for a full hour. You know,
No,
it's understandable.
It's very understandable, exactly. I mean, I can't listen to me for a full hour either. It's honestly a rough thing. But yeah, it's rapier time. We've had enough. Ember Spirit wants to end this game. Is that even like gonna end up stopping it though? Like, I still don't think that they can necessarily jump into all of them. Sovereign has Refresher now too, so double vacuum, double wall. Does that work? Is that a thing?
Yeah, double wall.
Okay.
That's the play.
All right. And now he goes back for the butterfly. He's just got a lot of items, man. Oh, Hex pulling back. Stan King is gonna end up going down now. All right, they use 1.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Oh, but the bottom lane is pushing in.
I mean, it's just,
Radiant's
yo, Dota 2.
Well, they've caught 1. Franz is going to die here to this, and MJW going to try and bring down Slayer. Forstaff not up to the high ground, though. He's not going to be able to get away from that one, so he is going to die. They're still chasing down Franz, but not going to be able to get the kill as the Radiance Burn is not enough. They've got 1 lone barracks left and trying their very best to defend it, but Honestly.
He's just going for it. He wants it.
Oh, he's had enough. He ends up dying in the end.
He's gonna go in.
Oh, God. What are they doing?
They're thinking about it. Just do it. Look at Jelly. Just do it. It's so low. Just go. The pings.
All right, they're going to right-click it down. They don't quite have anything to stop it, and that is going to be Mega Creeps on the deck. Can they hold it, though? That's my question. Oh, my God. Another
I'd
Hex.
say yeah. You know, get oh, okay, that's pretty sick. ET. They have the YOLO push potential for sure. Well, actually, they have an H's Prophet and a Ember Spirit. Maybe they don't. It would have to be Bisa dying, right? That's like the only way.
Yeah.
Or are you seeing like a giant line from the Ember to the like Radiant tier 4? Are you seeing this?
I'm not quite yet, but Bisa does not have anything to get out. He's actually maybe... Wait, he didn't go on him!
What?
What? He was dead!
He probably thought it went further, judging by the angle, maybe.
Oh, no, that was their moment! That was the time! That would have been Rapier! And he's able to get away from that. Actually, no, he has his Rapier back in base, so it wouldn't have been Rapier, but that still would have been a huge kill. Oh, no. He had him dead to rights.
Well, sometimes, you know, he just knows Bisa's like such a godlike player that there's no way his remnant could be that close.
Do you see this thing in the middle lane?
Yeah, I'm getting the particles.
All right.
Disco, man. That is like someone's vinyl is on fire, dude. That is one hot record, dude.
Oh my God, there is
Whoa,
shenanigans.
did rocks just fall on your screen? Like rocks just fell to the sky on top of it on my screen. What just happened?
No, I don't know what's going on, man. It's all kinds of crazy, but it looks like it's time to actually start to pressure down mid lane. They're going for the Ancient, though. Bisa's just hitting it. They don't have any way to stop this. They do end up jumping forward. Frozen ends up going down as well. He didn't even get off his egg. And now they're going to end up trying to pressure the tier 3 tower here. Oh, God, they're left alone. Elder Titan not going to be able to do enough. Slayer's trying to hold him.
Pancakes on top of him. Make sure he can't TP.
Oh, no. They end up being able to get the Hex. He's not going to be able to get out of there, and nothing left. They vacuum back onto 2. Is it going to be enough damage, though? They are going to be able to kill off MJW. On the other side, they've been able to bring down 1. See, they actually had them controlled and might be able to bring them down now. There's going to be the BKB trying to turn around. If they had not brought back the Terrorblade right there, I think that they could have killed him. Oh, there's the Dagon. They bring him down. This is such a hectic freaking fight. What is happening, MotPax? Please help me.
It's all over. Like we've got a fight going on in the Radiant base. Wow, that tower got low. 57 HP. Yo.
Yeah.
They just have to keep trying. The YOLO plays. There's no Elder Titan. We saw him buy out the Scythe, so no buyback for himself. No Phoenix. They don't have any choice.
Oh, we've got some of the fire coming out of Mr. Darkseer. He's starting to burn. He's pretty excited at this point. So where is the next point going to be of contention? Again, you see them just pushing down mid lane again. Franz is a little far forward. Refresher, they pull him back, and that's actually going to be another dead hero. Buyback status at this stage, Doom does have it, so they're not too worried as of yet. They don't TP back yet to try and push them into their own base. He's just going to move up to high ground. They don't have a great answer. There's the Sunder, already used once, and now the tier 3s, they have the glyph keeping them alive for the moment. They bring it down very rapidly and trying to do as much damage as they can. He's going to end up going down. He does have buyback immediately used.
1 to go.
I mean, they knew that was going to happen, though, that he was going to buy back. And again, I like that they're using it right away to try and get it back on cooldown.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my God.
Top lane, Scythe, Gutslayer. Nice.
Oh no.
Walt with the plays, the blinks.
He buys back.
Yo, I still have this disco on fire.
Yeah,
Mid
it's
lane, that vinyl.
this is some craziness.
What is that possibly from? Is that like a Terrorblade dying animation?
I think Terrorblade Timbersaw. Look at this creep wave up in the top lane, by the way. It is just a huge one coming through. Oh, they pull back now. Have been able to catch Stand King. He is going to end up dropping here, I believe. Is no way to make that stop. But they need to try and deal with these creeps. There are so many. Vacuum onto several.
Sovereign.
Oh my God.
All
right,
that's
yeah, he's
actually like so much damage. Sorry, his friends are here now. Everything's fine.
MotPax, this game is starting to get into ridiculous territory. We're already there. It's only game number 1.
I know. These megas, man. When the games they start to drag out, you got the Darkseer in here for those ion shells to try and break the game. It's always Darkseers, dude. Soon Sovereign will be on fire. Oh, he already is. Just noticed.
Yeah,
There you go.
he's doing it a little bit. Actually, I don't see him quite on fire there, but
Oh, he's fully burning on my screen. He's just lighting it up.
Bisa, he wants to take this. Oh, doesn't quite hit there. But again, Enemy, they really don't care at all. Like, they've been able to keep these creep waves pushed back really effectively. Oh, Doom. He's walking up there. They've been able to catch onto one. CC&C is controlled for the moment. They are going to end up dropping down that Earth Splitter. Doesn't do enough damage to bring him down as of yet. Dagons go down as well. Looking for their chance to get back into this one on the back lines. Ancient Expose, MJW, trying to go for the rat. He's going to end up dying now, and they aren't going to quite be able to get off the Sunder. He's doomed. He's dead. BSG is dead. No buyback. That's GG. Ends up getting called immediately, and 68 minutes into it, after a thriller, we see a really great game there. God, if Phoenix could have gotten that egg off onto the Terrorblade, that could have turned it around, but that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We end up seeing FDL take game number 1 of this best-of-3 series in the semifinals.
Credit to Enemy for hanging in there that long. You know, eventually you got to see a little bit of like the power of what maybe they were thinking about with this draft. Just all around that Terrorblade, get the damage, let him do his thing, and they really didn't have a single target damage to try and bring him down. We talked about it several times, but eventually, like, you get to this point where he's just so farmed that extremely difficult to deal with. But in the end, once they leave that base, once they're out of their big old, you know, well, their own home court, as it were, everything was just so easy to set up. And once they get outside the map, great split push, great like TPs and awareness. That's where all that kind of late game stuff counts, which a lot of these teams don't get to do all that often. You know, we don't usually see these games go to quite an epic finish. It's usually that GG out at like 25 minutes when they were down, you know, 20k or so.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like 30, but
Yeah, it was good, though, sticking with it towards the very end. And pretty impressive showing that they're able to keep it that competitive for that long. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're about to be back in just a second with game number 2 here. EnemyGG facing off against FDL. And that's going to get started in just a second. Again, Lyrical Dota as well as MotPax. Follow us on Twitter. Sellout Moment. See you guys in a bit.